Good morning. I'm better than yesterday.
Praise the Lord, man. You sound like Dr. Clegon incarnated.
That one will never die. Better than
Praise the
yesterday.
Lord. Praise the Lord. You can feel free to put in the SRT page that we are confirming his memorial service for the 28th of this month and his
Okay.
burial for the 29th.
Okay.
We will communicate the time of the day in short order.
All right.
Yes, yes, yes. So you will see me in this meeting and then I might jump out because I also have CJC pastors meeting which comes on a Friday.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. But it's good to see all of you and your very tone this morning sounds as if you communicated with Sister Kitty.
I have been in communication always.
Praise the Lord. No, this morning is something different. I don't know if it's moving close to anniversary or birthday or what.
Pastor, hey, you have words all the time.
And you know that Dr. Michael taught me a number of things since he came. Good
Oh.
morning, Dr. Michael.
Uh-huh.
Good morning, Pastor. Good morning, pastors.
Morning, Dr. Michael. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Right, I just spoke with Pastor Wilson. He says he's gonna try to join, but he's still in St. Anne.
He's still there. Wow.
Yes, still in St. Anne. Same.
How is his dad?
Well, he doesn't sound like he's getting worse, but he's in the St. Anne's hospital still. So he slept there last night, I think.
Okay.
So that's why we keep praying.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, it's 10 up.
I'll connect with him as soon as I can because I think I have some good doctors down there.
Okay.
Yeah, we have Dr. Kimona Bartley. We have Dr. They are all Seventh-day Adventists. I'll make some connections soon.
Okay, great. All right, gentlemen, thanks for joining. So 10 o'clock, we're going to start. I'm going to ask Dr. Wambali to pray for us and we begin.
All right, let us pray. Our Father and our God, thank you for another morning you have given us. We want to thank you, Lord, because every morning and every day, every minute is a blessing that comes from you, and we appreciate your care and your goodness. Be with us, Lord, as we prepare to launch into this program, this training. We pray that, Lord, for the sake of your glory, you enable us to grasp the concepts that are going to be imparted upon us. Thank you, Lord, for being with us. Be with those who are still connecting. In Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Doc. And welcome, Mr. Anderson. Okay.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
All right. Good morning. So as I mentioned in the email, we're going to be introducing the Moodle platform. It's a new platform, very different from Aaron in terms of the learning management system. But I believe that based upon your experience in using computers over the years, using Microsoft Word and stuff like that, using the internet, you can adapt quite easily. But of course, there's always that drawback. But let me try to allay your fears by reminding you of several things. Number one, the Aaron system is not something you're going to use. Most of what you're going to do on a day-to-day basis, you have already used before. For example, Blackboard, you have already used Blackboard before. So don't be afraid that you're going to be confronting something that you're not familiar with every day. Most of the things that are unfamiliar are things that you'll do one time and may not do until later down the semester. So it's not something to worry that you're going to be out of, experience with doing. So I just want to, if that will help to put that frame of mind in place. So let's get some decision here. Are you going to go with converting one of your courses, or do you want to practice, do the practice session? Let me just get a feedback.
I am on the familiarize.
You want to do practice?
There's
Okay.
an option here to familiarize.
Practice session for me.
Practice session. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. No problem. I'll be doing the real thing with one of my courses. I decided not to move until this session. I'll demonstrate everything, how it's going to be done. All right, so let me share my screen. And do you have your computer there before before you can do? Okay. All right.
Yes.
One window. Aaron. Okay, so now and then, students, when I talk about Moodle, some students say, "Sir, I can't find Moodle." And I keep saying to them that you don't have to, you don't need to look for Moodle, because once you click on the course that I have already converted, it will take you to Moodle. So there's no need for any of us to go and search for anything different to find Moodle. Just access your courses, and if you had converted it, it will take you there. The other thing too is that what I'll be covering the basics. I probably won't be able to do an exam or a quiz, because I'm going to leave that for a different tutorial, because I'm not going to go any faster than you can follow me. All right, so there's no rush. We're just going to go through together. All right, so when you access your Aaron, you're going to come on a page like this. You're going to see your classes here. I'm going to click on the one that I'm planning to convert, and it's going to bring up several options. So this is for the first time. If you have never switched or never took a decision on it, this is what's going to come up. So there are three options: the option to stay, the option to switch, and the option to familiarize. So most of you are going to go familiarize, but I'm going to go switch just for the sake of recording, so that when you are ready to switch, you will see what will happen. Welcome, Pastor Walker. So I'm clicking on it to switch, and it's taking its time to do its work in terms of converting or transferring information. I don't know if they're creating a new database or if they're transferring data from one database to the next.
Can you enlarge your page? I mean
My screen?
the screen. The share.
All right. All right.
Share.
I'm not sure what you're seeing, but is it possible to adjust? Let me see.
Yes, I tried control plus or minus and even function.
Sorry.
Yes, to
Click
make
on
it
pin.
bigger.
You can pin the screen. Put your mouse over the screen that is showing, and the pin to the left, the icon to the left.
Okay.
Just pin it.
All right.
Are you seeing better now?
No, pinning it give me something different.
Remember, pin is what we used to have the closing, so you have to give us something similar. Simple.
Right.
Pastor
Right.
Walker?
So what are you seeing on this? What's the largest screen you're seeing? Are you seeing?
I'm seeing the okay, the what is the Moodle screen? That
Oh, but it's not large enough. Okay, that's fine.
the largest screen I'm seeing is the screen of where of the platform where
Okay.
you and me and others are shown. That is the largest screen. Then there is a smaller screen which is like the one I have opened here in my Orion Moodle. It
Yeah.
is actually similar to what I have here, except that it is too small.
Okay, so I'm saying no. If you can put your mouse over that screen that has the Moodle, and there are 3 icons that come up. One says pin, the other says mute, and the other says remove. But well, I don't think you're gonna get remove. I think because I'm an admin. Do you see that, Pastor Hay?
No, not yet.
I see pin, mute, and plus and a minus.
So can you click on pin?
Okay.
When you
Pin,
click on it,
pin gives me all of us.
Main screen.
It gives me the.
There's a little section down the bottom with 3 dots.
It doesn't give me the Moodle.
Are you hearing me?
It gives me now the whole screen.
Odeka, you're very low.
Yeah, Pastor Walker, you're very low, so you might need to take the earphone off.
Dr. Michael, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing beautifully. I'm seeing the screen fully.
I was saying, are you hearing me now? Better?
Yes, much better.
Okay, good. So there are 3 little dots at the bottom. If you click on the 3 little dots, it says more options. And one of the options is full screen.
Well, when I press full screen, it's the same thing I get back.
Yeah, because it needs to pin. It needs to pin the presentation screen for him to see it. Because what I'm seeing us in the corner to the right, and I'm seeing the screen to the left, larger screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too.
Right.
So you know what I have done. I am opening 2 screens. I mean two
monitors?
screens. 2 screens on my screen. My Moodle, where I'm going to do the operation.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, so that's why it's gonna be small.
To minimize the. Okay, then I may have just to go with the.
That's why I'd ask if you could do it 2 monitors, because
okay.
Because I know you're gonna have to be working and looking at the same time. So maybe if that's the case, what you can do, as I say, I'm going to slow so you can look and then work and switch between, because if you minimize the screen, it's gonna do like that.
Okay. Let me just go with the minimized screen.
Okay.
Pastor Hay?
Yes, I will survive.
Okay. All right. So can you see the page, the Moodle page?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So right now,
it says home area and home dashboard and then courses.
Very good. So right now it's pretty blank, except for the navigation and administration tabs.
Yes.
An announcement. So you have a blank page working with. The difference between this and Aaron, just to bridge what you're used to, is that Aaron would have given you a template. It would have given you a section to put your course information, a section where students are listed, and some tabs for learning units, Blackboard, and so on. But this technically it's kind of like a blank sheet to work with, right? Where you have to start working with, and you decide what goes where. It doesn't force you into a corner. So you are the one who decides how your page look. Totally, you have total control. Sometimes total control can be more work, but I just want you to be aware. I just want you to be aware of what it did. So you're gonna start editing by turning on editing. If you don't turn on editing, you can't add anything to your page. So that's the first thing to realize. You need to go over here to the right hand. Let me big it up a little. Over here, and click on this button. Okay, turn on editing. And that's how you're going to be able to start adding anything.
Yes.
All right, welcome, Pastor Wilson.
I see what you are seeing now.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. Like Elijah's servant. All right.
Pastor Chambers,
Yes, Walker.
is it possible that when you don't have editing on, for you to, instead of seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, to actually see the names of those on that main page going down? Because I think the first section of Moodle that I got, that is the case. But then afterwards, I noticed that maybe the other 2 courses or so, it's just giving me 1, 2, 3, 4 on the page for the divisions. That
Were you referring to the units like 1, 2, 3, the tabs?
yes,
I think they have made some changes.
yes.
All right, I think they have made some changes.
Yes,
All right.
I don't like the 1, 2, 3, 4. I prefer to see those
Yes,
stuff.
yes, I agree with you. I noticed that too, and they are the ones who made a change. I think for visual sake, it's good to see going down, but I appreciate what they did, because it you see, when a page has too many things on it, it can be cumbersome. So I guess they're trying to organize it.
Okay.
All right, but thanks for the question.
Yes.
So now, if you have a course outline, so for example, I'm working with this course outline here. Usually, the first couple of things you want to add are the course description and course objectives. Other things I don't normally add other things from the course, so I just put the file course outline. But before I go there, let me just explain what's happening on this page and what you're going to have to do with it. So first, in this section right here, just above the announcements, you can put any type of content there by clicking on this edit button. So they're allowing you to type all your course introduction statements there before you start adding items, because all the items that you're going to add are going to be listed in this section right here. They're going to be listed there. So there are three divisions on this page right here. The top section, we're going to put the course description. Right here, we're going to add items like your quiz, your documents, whatever else. And then this section down here, these are like your learning units. Are you following? So there are 3 sections. Let me do it run quickly. 3 sections. Your top section where you can put your text, course information, introduction. The second section is where you add resources. If you notice, it says add resource. Let me big it up here. It said add resource or activity right here. General activity. So that's a section in going back to Moodle, going back to the Aaron, where you could add your course outline and stuff like that. And then right here are your learning units. You can add more if you wish. They give you 4 by default, but you can add more, or you can delete if you need less. Is that clear?
Now, to make sure I understand what you're saying.
Right.
You're saying 3 sections here.
Yes.
So the first section is, are you talking about the first edit and the second edit?
Yes. We have 1 edit, 2 edit, and then you have these down here together as a learning as a unit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the first edit is for what? The second edit is for what?
The first edit is for the first edit is for general information. If you want to put it there, you don't have to. All right, just to be sure, you don't have to. This thing is so flexible. You don't have to put anything anywhere. You decide where. For example, when I first did it, Pastor Walker, I didn't put it there. I actually created a page, a separate page. But it might be that the students don't see it up front. So if you put it at the top, it's easier for them to see it. But because I don't want to confuse you, I want to keep it as simple as possible. But as you see the program and get to be flexible, you can move around. All right. So just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go on the first edit and put stuff there. So I click on the edit button and click edit section. And it gives me this box, this page for me to add the content that I want to add. So I'm going to, so right now, first of all, you have section name and summary, okay? So what you have basically is that they're giving you tools to add information, a title and a header, okay? Now, if you notice right now, I cannot edit this box here because, and they have a name in there already that will appear. But if you want to edit it, you have to click on custom. I hope are you guys following me in terms of, did you get to go, when you get to practice, can you do what I'm doing right now?
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
very good. So click on custom, and I like to put course information. You know, that's the first section of your course outline. That's what I'm going to do. Course description, course objectives, or learning objectives. Then all of that now will come down here. Now, since this is the first rich text editor that you will see, this is the name for it, rich text editor. That's the name of this box. You're gonna see it several times. Let me make sure I type it properly. You're gonna see this type of box several times, so it's good to get acquainted with it. You used to have it in Aaron, but it was a little less fancy than this one. This one is same principle like in Microsoft Word, but very basic. You have your text, your bold, your italics, your numbering. You can insert a file. You can add an image. You can insert a video file. You can probably insert an audio, right? So that's what you got. But right now, I'm going to just insert some text.
Just before you do that, Pastor, could you please go back to retrieve the summary of general? I had to report to CJC Pastor's meeting, so I was distracted a little.
Retrieve.
Yes. Oh, okay. This is the same thing.
Okay.
Go to the matter of getting back the box.
Right. So I'm saying now that you have two sections, the section name and the summary. So by default, they give you a name for the section, but you can change it if you want by clicking on the custom and type your name that you want. So I'm going to say course information. Right? And I'm going to go to my course outline and I'm going to copy my description and objectives. Just copy it. And I want to paste it here. Now, usually, when you're pasting from Microsoft Word, one of the challenges that can happen is that if you simply do, like, for example, paste, it's going to adopt the format from Microsoft Word with the centering and the bold, everything is going to adopt it. But sometimes they may not be exactly how you want it. Right? So what I normally do, a person's texting, I'm not seeing the text box, the chat. So I can't even, wait, let me see. Oh, yes. So that's one way you could do it. But what I normally do is to paste as plain text. The reason I normally do that is because I want to eliminate any formatting that's coming over, because sometimes a format can come over that's going to give you problems in formatting inside this box. So I normally try to ignore whatever comes over from Word so I can format it in this box how I want it. So I do paste as plain text, and then I format it how I want it. So I may bold this. I just simply block it and click bold, and I remove the unnecessary space, and I can bold on at the other heading. And for the numbers, I want to make sure that it's even though you see the numbers there, it may not be the correct format because I canceled every format. So I still block it and do ordered list. And if you notice, it's doing the proper list now because it's really formatting. It wasn't formatted before, even though it has the numbers. I'm going to have to delete the numbers from it, all the numbers, because it wasn't formatted correctly. Okay, I'm gonna pause there and let you two catch up and make sure you're doing what I've done.
While you are on a pause, the average computer has Microsoft Voice. If you do not have the information written to retrieve, like from error in
Oh, you
system,
can type it. You can type it.
I'm just, couldn't you voice it?
Voice.
Because the average Microsoft has voice option.
All right, you probably would have to voice it inside Word and then copy from Word.
Okay.
I don't think you can. This is not so sophisticated. So you probably have to voice it in Word and then copy it from Word or wherever you decide to convert from voice to text.
Okay, thanks.
Or you could type by hand inside the box, but I don't recommend that because you can lose if internet goes. You can lose that information. I prefer to type in Word and then copy and paste.
And you couldn't type and save as you go along?
Yes, you could do that. You could do that because you have a save changes button here. Matter of fact, let me just do that right now. The key thing here is that you didn't only have to add text. You could, as I say, you could have other information. So now you notice now that it brings me back to my page, and that's what it has up here: course description, course objective. Also, you know what I should have done? Even though it's not that very big, I should have put the course title at the top rather than just start with course description. I should have probably do what's the name of this course now? Development. Those information I could have easily done that, and the course number. Anything you want to put there that will help to give the student the idea that this is how do I get it? I wanted to center. I'm not seeing indent. I'm not seeing the show more button. Oh yes, there it is. Center. So if you notice what I did, this obviously toggles more options on the thing. You could probably put tables and stuff there. All right. So anything else you want to add there? For example, you could add links. If you have a WhatsApp group and you want to add a link there for the students to join the class WhatsApp group, it could be added at that location. So you know, I have the course title and stuff. Have you done this already? Or can I move on?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thanks. So the next thing that we want to add are, should I go to unit first? No, let me add some other stuff. Let me add the course outline. Okay. So right in this section here, you can add, this is where the fun now starts. Activities, right?
Now, excuse me. That is after you save. You can add after you save.
Yes, after you save. After you save, please save. Yes, please save, and it will take you back to the main page.
Okay. All right. Oh yes.
All right. So that's the first section that I told you about. So you have a second section now where you add your files, your Blackboard Collaborate, your quiz, everything else is added in the second section. You're gonna add activity. Okay?
Okay, so what about the add activity in the upper section after the
This section,
after the announcement?
that's where I'm going now.
Okay.
Because announcement is an activity that you probably can even delete.
Okay.
I can delete announcement, but they keep it there by default because I guess they're saying that's the greatest need a teacher may have to make general announcement to the class. But you can actually delete it. You never had to be there.
Okay, you can delete it. And
Yes, I can.
And put another announcement.
I'll put something else there, whatever you want.
All right.
As I said, this thing is like a blank page. You decide what to put on it. Right?
Okay.
So I'm going to add another activity.
Yes.
But let's decide what we're going to add. So usually in terms of basic, the need you have right now, besides learning units, you're going to have a need for like what? You're going to need a Blackboard session. You're going to need the course outline. You're going to need the attendance register. And let me check here. Quiz or sectionals and assignments. But we're not going to get to assignment as yet and quiz as yet. So let's work with the course outline, the Blackboard collaborate session, and any other resource and the attendance register. All right. Let's start with the course outline. So usually I convert my course outline to PDF and have it ready in a file. And I'm going to add that file now. When you're adding a file, there are a couple ways to do that. First, when you go activity, you should find the file activity. Let me not, I'm not going to confuse. Let me keep it simple, keep it basic so I don't confuse. So what they allow you to do, they give you a page. This is going to be common in Moodle. Every time you're going to add an activity, it's going to give you a page to work with. That's not what Aaron never did that. Aaron just simply maybe open up a little section, but they give you a full page. So so the couple of things you need to do to fill out some things for this file that you're going to add. So what's the name of the file we're going to give? We're going to call it course outline, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have the option of giving it a description. I don't feel the need to give a description because every student should know what a course outline is. But you could decide to say, okay, this document gives full information about the course. Something like that. But that description will come on the home page right there. The next thing is the file. So there are two ways you could do this.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
I got left when I was trying to turn my course outline into PDF. Oh. So okay. Yes. So I was still at activity after.
That's fine. So let me wait on you. I thought you had it converted already, but that's fine. That's fine. Just when you convert it, just make sure you know where to find it. Or when you're export, yes, just make sure you know where to find it.
Okay. So where do I put it? I can see assignment, attendance, and
file. Look for file.
Okay.
Yes, file.
All right. I'm looking for it.
Click on file.
Yes.
You should see a page like this now.
Adding a new file. Yes, I'm there.
Right, very good. So just give it a name. You could say course outline and give it course name. let's say course outline for RELT 320. It's up to you. For me, course outline is good enough because that's every student should know what a course outline is, and it's on the page already. So that's fine. All right. After you do that, then the next thing is the file. You could drag and drop it there, or you could click add. All right. Let me give you the easier way. Let me give you the easier way. All right, let me explain to you first. I hope this won't confuse you. What Moodle does, this is different from Aaron again. What Moodle does is that it creates a central repository or a central area where you put all your files. And once you upload a file there, it will be available to be added anywhere else inside Moodle. Did you get that?
Okay.
So what you're doing now is you're not just adding a file to the page. You're also adding a file to a date to a it's called a repository. But just to keep it simple, let's say it's a big bag where you keep all your files in, and anywhere else on the system you can add that file to it. Are you with me, Sister Anderson?
Yeah, yes, I am.
Okay, very good. So when you click add, what it brings up that repository, which if you had files in there before, you would have seen it. But there's none there right now. So I'm going to have to go to upload a file. So if you notice, there's a option there to upload a file. Please click on that for me.
Upload a file. Where do I get this side? I don't.
Let me close this again. Let me close again.
I can see you can drag and drop files here.
Yes, that's the easier way. But
Okay.
I'm gonna go there. But I just wanted you to follow this just in case.
Or
Dragging and dropping is the easier way.
if you click right in the box where you say add and drop, it will just give you the
It
option.
will also give you the option, right? So if you click on this thing here, it will give you the option and bring you right to upload a file. So let's choose the file. Okay.
I am not with you, sir.
You see, that's why that's why Pastor Walker, I have to go the step by step. All right. So have you click on this add button here, Dr. Wambale?
I am still at adding a new file.
Right. So scroll down after you have you entered the name of the file as it?
Yes.
Okay. So scroll down now to select files.
Okay.
Yes.
All
And
right.
then-
So I can see the icons here.
Very good. So there are a couple of ways you could do it. You could drag and drop it, or you could just click on the add button, or you could create a folder. But I'm not going to confuse with that. I'm just going to go click add, and then click.
How do you drag?
All right, let's work with this one first before I tell you. I'm gonna look at dragging after this. That's why I wanted to do this first before I do drag and dropping, because that's another procedure. All right, so let's follow what I'm doing now. Click on add. Click on upload a file. Are you there?
Yeah, I had connection challenges. Okay. I can see now. Okay. So I click on the add file.
Okay. And then click on upload a file. Are you there?
Yes, upload the file.
Okay. So you're gonna choose the file now.
Okay, so in the browse,
Are you thinking choose the file button? Choose file button.
yes, I'm seeing the attachment browse is
Yes, yes. Click on it. Click on it.
okay. So now I can go to I can get to the
Yes,
thing.
find the file. Have you found it?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So you're gonna ignore the rest of stuff. You could change these things there. These stuff here is just to make sure that you can put a license on your file, because let's say you want to say to the students no, that they don't have the right to share this file outside of the course. That's an important feature. You could actually license it. You could say all rights reserved. This is not to be shared anywhere else. Okay, but let's not do that right now. Let's just quick upload this file. Have you done that?
Where is the upload? Save as? No, before that.
Scroll down. No, scroll down
Oh,
to the
yes,
bottom.
I can see the upload the file. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Yes.
Okay,
I am
very
there
good.
with you now.
Now, there are some options that you're given in the bottom right here. There are some options right here. There are some options, if I can mark the screen. Yeah. These options here are common in Moodle. So it's not just specific to this file. Most things that most activity you're gonna add have these features, but I'm not going to go into them right now, because I don't want to complicate the tutorial. The only one I probably would pay attention to is restrict access. You can add something and restrict access based on dates and profile and stuff like that, but I don't want to go into that now. So I'm going to keep it just to do that. So just click save and display. So go down the bottom of your screen and click save and display.
Okay.
So you can return to the page. Pastor, hey, are you with us?
Yes, save and display. I have got some hiccups in my internet connection, but I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
All right, very good. Oh, it took me to this page. I want to go back to the course information. So sorry, I should have clicked back, return to the page, but I didn't do that. So this is actually a page. So what it does actually, let me just explain to you what it does. It actually creates a full page for that file. So that's how Moodle operates. It's going to create page for everything, every item. So I'm going to go back to course information. Just click on the top right here. Hope you can see it. And it's going to bring me back to the page where I was, the course page. So by the way, I should have said that before, that this navigation bar up here is going to become very handy in terms of how you maneuver yourself. When you find yourself in a page that you're not sure how to return, that's the bar you need to look at. So you can come back right back to your page very easily. So if you notice now,
I haven't got to how to go back.
go up to the top navigation bar here and click on course information. If that's what you name the page, the page.
Okay, course information.
Are you back there now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So on that page, you should see announcements and you should see the course outline. Are you seeing that?
Yes, yes, yes.
Very good. Very good. All right. So now the second thing, the second activity to, and by the way, you have the option of seeing the page, how the students will see it. But later on, I don't want to do that yet. I'm going to add some more stuff before I do that. But right now, you're seeing it in the editing mode. You're going to add another activity. Let me add a, oh no, before I do that, let me show you the drag and drop now first, because that's important. I never had to go through all of that to add the file to Moodle. I could simply have gone into the folder. Right? Are you seeing that? No, you're not. Oh no, you're not seeing that. Oh my. All right, let me share the screen again. I'm gonna stop presentation. I'm going to have to share the entire screen in order for you to see what I'm doing. All right, so I'm going to open my folder again. You should be seeing it.
Yes.
Are you seeing it?
Yes.
Right. So I'm going to go to where the file is, which is my course outline. Usually I use dual screen, but for the sake of showing you, I'm going to just minimize it here. And then this is dragging and dropping.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So the file is here. I can click on it and hold it. When I click, I hold the mouse. I don't let it go.
Oh, yes.
And then I drag.
And drop
here.
it there. Yes, yes. I get it.
So you see how that easy that is. So I could have eliminated all the process I went through just now.
Okay.
By dragging and dropping.
Okay.
The reason you may want to go through the process is to, if you have any restrictions to put on the file, you may want to do that. But otherwise, when you have files to add, you can drag and drop it.
All right. All right.
Let me add a Blackboard now, because that's very important activity. So you're going to add a Blackboard by going, again, you're going to add an activity.
Now a question.
Yes.
Every time you finish adding an activity here, something here, the add activity still appears. When do you use these ones below this yellow bar? When do you use these ones?
We are coming there when we add our learning units.
Okay.
And since you asked the question, activities can be added anywhere because you can add them to your learning unit. So for example, if you have lecture notes that's specific to a learning unit, that's why it's there. All right.
Okay.
But what we're adding general resources that the students will access from the class. But when we go down to the learning units, we can add specific resources for that learning unit. All right, so let's add the Blackboard. So we're going to click on add an activity. Please do that now. Click add activity.
Yes.
Okay, you're going to find Blackboard Collaborate. It's the third.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And it's going to take you to a page that's going to be very familiar to you. Well, no, not yet. Until you save, it won't. When you save, you're gonna be brought there. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna name it first. Are you on this page now?
You said Blackboard collaboration.
Yes. Click on that activity.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So you should take your page that looks like this. Are you seeing it?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to call it Blackboard. You can call it anything you want, but for the purpose of helping the student to identify it, you call it Blackboard Collaborate for online sessions. And you could put the course name again. That's up to you. You could just say Blackboard Collaborate. That will be fine. All right. It's just a name you are giving. Show more. No, you don't need to describe it anything. All right, are you done with, when you're done with the title, let me know.
I'm done myself. Perhaps.
Okay. All right. Again, you'll notice now that again, Moodle will give you some other options which are similar to the ones I pointed out earlier, but there's one that is added to the list, and that is grade.
Great.
All right.
Yes.
Now, Moodle doesn't know that this is not a graded activity.
Okay.
Right? This is one caveat I need to add. So you need to go there and remove the point. You're gonna change the grade type to none because you don't want this to come up to show up in your list of graded items, because eventually Moodle has a way of aggregating your graded items in one place, and we're gonna get there. So I'm just I know that I found that out, so I'm telling you beforehand so that it doesn't happen to you. So just go to grade and put none. You're not gonna grade it. It's not a graded item.
Okay.
After you do that, you're gonna go click save and display. I mean, do save and display this time because you want to set up your Blackboard. I think it's gonna take you to a page to set up your Blackboard. Are you done?
Save and display.
Yes.
Okay.
It should take you to the page to set up your Blackboard, which is familiar to you. So let's all agree that I don't have to go through this again.
Yes.
Yes,
yes.
that is okay.
Yes, I don't have to go through this because you're familiar with it. You just make sure you lock your room, right, and create your sessions.
Okay.
Dr. Michael
Yes, sir.
and Pastor Walker. Just to be clear, because Pastor Walker, are you familiar with Blackboard and you set up?
Yes, I have set up them already. Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, so go back to your course information because all of you should. So you're gonna see now.
Now, excuse me. If I had a setup Blackboard collaboration session, would I be able to upload it here and it comes from Orion?
All right, so that's why I sent the email earlier this week, because I have not yet contacted Eunice, so I don't know if there's a way to transfer it might be possible because I think Blackboard is independent of both platforms, but I've not yet taken the time to find out. Honestly, I have so many things doing. All I did was just download, because I only did 2 class sessions before, so I just downloaded them and have them for the students. But I created a new one inside here. I could find out from Eunice if there's a way to transfer the Blackboard to this platform.
Pastor Chambers, if you have Blackboard already set up and you click on the icon, drag and drop, would it be just dropping a blank one, or would it be dragging and dropping everything that you would have had in Blackboard?
I don't think you could drag it from. You mean drag and drop where?
So suppose you have another course, for example, with Blackboard. Like for example, I have Blackboard in God and Human Life.
Right.
So if I click on it, drag to drop it in another section,
course. Wow.
I open another tab and I open another course with it. I'm just wondering if it would be possible.
That's an interesting one. I've never thought about that.
Okay.
I doubt it very much based on how internet, I know the internet works, because it would not know. It would be difficult to know. They're thinking about it. I don't think it would know where it's coming from and what it's about. You probably could try, but I'm gonna doubt it very much.
I was thinking about like when you drag and drop the course outline a while ago.
No, because that's a file and it's already anticipating the type of file. That's the drag and dropping file is a common thing in web development. but to whole Blackboard session, because what you'll be dragging, by the way, is the Blackboard link. That's how you'll be dragging. Okay, you couldn't drag the session itself. There's no way to do that. All right. So that's what the other activity. The other activity is your attendance register. Okay. So let's go back now. Let's click add again. This one may take a little time, but it's important if you want to mark attendance. So that's the second one beside Blackboard. The one immediately beside Blackboard. Are you there?
Not yet.
Let's click add activity.
Do I go back? I'm at Blackboard.
Oh yes. Yes, go back. Click on your course information at the top again. The navigation, it's called breadcrumb, but the navigation bar up top. Click on course information. That's the easiest way to get back to your course each time.
Okay. All right.
You're back there now?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, welcome, Dr. Wright. Click on add activity. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Then click attendance. Let me know when you're there on this page.
Okay, the name is already there. Attendance.
Okay, you can change the name. I'm going to say attendance register.
Okay.
You know. And again, you want to remove any grading that it has connected with it, because again, it's going to add it to your the other section in your Moodle. We're going to have your grades together. When you get there, these items might be there if you did not change to none. All right. So you want to save and display, because you're going to be adding the sessions for your attendance. It's not automatic. So once you're done that, let me know. Scroll down and click save and display.
Save and display, yes.
Okay. So you should bring it to a page that looks like this.
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing you want to do is to add sessions. The tab, the other session, you have a sessions, add session report. Click on add session.
Okay.
Okay. Then you're gonna start. Well, you're gonna start from today's date. No, you're gonna start from the first date that a session is possible. So in my case, the class is held on a Tuesday and Thursday. So I could go back as far as the 31st of August as the first date, possible date for the class. And then the time, you set the time for the class. In my case, I think this class is 9:30, yes. 9:30 to 10:50. Okay. Have you done that?
Yes.
Okay. When you're done with that, now you scroll down and do multiple sessions. Click on the tab that says multiple sessions. And you're gonna check the box that says repeat the session above as follows. It's gonna be on Tuesday and Thursday. Well, I mean in my case, probably in your case, it's maybe on Monday or Wednesday. whatever it is. The next thing, you're gonna keep it at repeat every 1 week. You're gonna keep that, and then you're gonna say repeat until and set. All right. Just to clarify here, that Arian usually set these things for us. We normally go there and find it ready to just mark the attendance, but you are the one doing it now. So you're gonna say the class is gonna end on, I think what, December
The 10th.
the 10th.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe the 9th for me. So you're gonna put the 9th. Okay. Let me know when you're done with that.
I am.
Don't trouble this here. Just just to check on the days on which it should be repeated and the last date for the class.
So do you allow the students to record?
Come into that. That's a question that you, if for me, if it's a small class, it takes some work off your hand, because this part of the work is normally the cumbersome part that I wish I never had to do, honestly. But if for me, if it's a small enough class, I would allow them and warn them that, listen, I will double check, so please don't be dishonest, and let them mark the attendance. But you decide. You can check if you want, and if you check, I think it's gonna ask for a set unmarked at end of session. There are different options here. You can explore the option as you go along, but I'm gonna uncheck it and keep it at the default. I don't want to go out. My goal, I don't want to do too many things that will create more on a tutorial than is intended. But just so you know, the option is there. So if you want to explore it, you can do so.
Question, Pastor.
Yes, Doc.
I noticed that the time is 3. For example, my class is 3:30 p.m. Right? But you know that 3:30 p.m. is 15:30.
Right.
I'm not seeing the a.m. or p.m. So I'm wondering if you put 3:30, just 3:30 like that, it might be 3:30 a.m.
So what you do, you put the 15.
Okay.
Hold on.
Because
yes, I think they work with army time. Yes, because it runs from 1 to 23.
Yeah, because if there's no AM or PM, then
yes, it's army time. So once it's in the afternoon, once from 1 o'clock on, it's going to be 13, 14, 15 going down.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's an interesting question, because I can't remember. I can't remember what I have a 3:30 class, and I'd have to look back at what I did, because I don't remember putting 15. But I think that's the right way. If they allow up to 15, up to 20,
yeah, from
24,
1,
then you
from
should
0 to 23.
Yeah, that's the correct thing to do.
So Pastor Chambers, if you did not put the 24-hour clock in consideration, how does Blackboard Collaborate allow you to enter in when it should be midnight? When it should be
all right? Good question, because it doesn't work with Blackboard Collaborate. It's a separate thing. So it's done manually. You go in and mark the register. So
all right.
So when you don't have tick automatic, it means that the teacher is the one marking it.
We have to manually.
So if you tick automatic down there, what happens? When they come in, it's automatically marked them as present?
That's a good question. I'd have to read the text to find out. It allows marking to be completed automatically. Yes, students will.
Yes, students will be automatically marked depending.
There is one section which I think I missed. There is repeat every. Then there is 1 week.
Keep that at 1.
1. Then
Yes.
repeat until.
Yes, that's it. That's the last date of the class. So December,
Yes.
the second week in December, whichever date is the last day.
So the last date will either be the 8th or the 9th. The 8th is the Wednesday, the 9th is the Thursday.
So for your question, Dr. Pastor Walker, this is associated with student recording. So you don't, if you're not allowing the students to record, you don't need to check it any at all. You don't need to trouble anything here.
Okay.
So if you allow the student to mark, then what it will do is if the student doesn't mark, it will leave it until the student mark. It will automatically mark it as unmarked until the student mark it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add now, Doc. So click add. Once you're filling all the information, click add.
Now, excuse me. At marking, you said we don't put automatic. Did you say?
No, don't trouble anything down here. No, don't trouble anything that side. It's only if you're allowing the student to mark themselves. But I've decided not to cover that in this tutorial because of time and because of I want to keep it as narrow as possible on the basic. All right, it's only give me a warning because some of the sessions have already passed. So when we get to that point, which we'll see. So now, when you go back to this question,
So I click add.
Yes, click add. And once you're done with adding, click on sessions, and you should see the list of sessions. Welcome, Mrs. Lawson. You should see the list of sessions. Well, because there's no session today, you won't see it. But if you click all, you should see. Let me see. Unless unless it didn't add. Did it add it? Unless it didn't add. Let me.
So maybe we have to change the date because
Yeah, maybe I have to keep it at the next date. Let me keep it at the next possible day. I'm gonna keep it at the 21st. And just go through this again. This is 9:30 to 10:50.
hold on. Oh, sessions. But mine is saying that it adds the sessions.
Yeah, also
And the
mine.
next session is the
At this
30th.
session, so maybe what I'm gonna go back to my course information then, and then go and then click attendance register and see if it had added them. No, it did not.
30 sessions are added.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Right.
can sessions here, but I don't. The time is only showing me PM, and nothing else. No time specific.
One second. Let me add mine. Mine didn't add. So let me just do it quickly. 20. Okay. And it is December that 11.
So the last day would be the 10th. So if it's Tuesday, Thursday,
9th.
the 9th.
Okay. Add. Okay, yes. So it did add them.
Okay.
When you go to sessions, there it is. So you mark attendance by clicking on the green icon.
Okay.
And you should see, I think in my case, the students may not be in. I'm not seeing the students. Let me see.
I don't see students. Oh, because for me, I'm using it yesterday. No. I should be having students because because
Are,
I'm
are you
using
saying?
a trial. Is it because I'm just using a trial? Because
I'm not sure. Are you saying students, Odeka?
I click on it and it's loading. It appears. It's
Okay.
loading.
In my regular course, I do see the students. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it here.
Oh yes, the students are here.
uh,
Okay.
So first name, last name, email
Yes.
address,
uh,
present, late, E. What is E? Early. And E
Excuse.
absent. Or E excuse.
Yeah,
And
meaning that
A
they have an
is
excuse for
absent.
being absent.
Yes. So mine is showing long list of students.
how comes I'm not seeing any students?
Okay. When you get to the regular one, you'll see it, Doc. I'm not seeing it either. So I guess because maybe it's in the practice session. All right. Let us go. That's the attendance.
So hold
Excuse
on.
me. Are
Yeah.
you saying that because I'm in a practice session, I can't see students?
That's the assumption I'm making. I'm not going to say definitely because I'm not seeing either. I'm not seeing any students either.
Pastor,
Could
I'm
be.
lost. How did you get to this particular page?
Sessions.
You click
So
sessions. Yes.
and then click on the green
The green what? Oh,
for the
okay.
for the date.
For one.
Yes.
All right.
For the one that you want to mark. So let me see.
Okay.
20.
No, there are more than 25 students in this class, and it.
No, what happened, Pastor Walker, is that if
Yes.
a student is not fully registered or
Or they were not. So these were the persons who were registered at
no, no,
the.
no, sorry, no, I'm misleading you. No, it allow only 25 on the page. You can change that. You can change it. It said do
Oh,
not use paging. You see that?
at the top.
At the top, you're gonna see you should see this thing where you see 25.
Oh,
Mhm.
It only shows 25 on the page. You could change that.
okay.
Okay.
Change it to what? Oh.
To do not use paging.
Oh.
It's paging so that everybody is seeing.
Yes.
I'm not seeing any student here.
You're not seeing any
Even though
student. Are you in
I
practice
have
mode?
one registered. Yes.
Are you in practice mode, Pastor Walker?
No, no, I'm not in practice mode. I'm actually in my class. I've got a
Right.
video.
So it seems as if in practice mode you don't get to see this. It appears that way.
Okay.
I can only assume. But regularly, I saw when I was in my other class, I saw the students instead. But that's it for the attendance in terms of setting it up. So you're going to go back to your course information now. And assignment is what I would add next. Let me see, assignment. Because you can have any other course resource that you have. Let's say you have a PDF book or so, you can drag and drop it here. Okay, yeah, right. So in terms of up the top, no, it's not assignment yet. I'm gonna go to the third section now. You're learning units now. Learning units now. So this section, what they have done is by default, they have given you 4 space for learning units. Now, I don't know how you do your thing. Some teachers do weekly learning units. Some do it by the actual learning unit in the course. Give me one second. All right. So depending on how many units you need, you can add or remove. Okay. So in
I,
my
I
case,
I don't get where you go to the learning units.
let me show you right here. Let me. Oh my.
Is it at the bottom or at the top?
The bottom, the last section. Here. That section, are you seeing it?
Because I can see add activity only.
Right, because but there are 4 of them. Are you seeing them?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm saying to you now that those 4 are the default locations that Moodle added for you to add your learning units.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So you're gonna edit each section depending on how many you need. So I'm saying I'm trying to discuss now on what basis you decide how many you need. In my case, for example, let me just check the course outline and see how many units there are. I'm seeing where I have here 5.
Okay.
Right. So I have 5 units in this class. So I will need 1 more. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm going to start doing now, I'm going to start adding all of them one at a time. So I'm going to add by doing edit, edit topic. Oh, I went too fast a while ago. Just click on the edit button and click edit topic. Do that for me now, please.
Edit topic. Okay.
It will take you to a similar page like it has done for every other
Okay.
every other thing that you're adding. Similar setup. So your same section name summary. So in this case, I'm gonna do a custom name, and I'm gonna call it based on the unit I have here. So in my case, my unit 1 has a name, which I'm just gonna copy and paste here. No, this is too long. It's too long. Let me just put unit 1 and then give it a shorter name. Let me just say a shorter name. Just call it theological roots because it's too long. Right? And then I could put a summary, but oh yes, the summary is what you add the content of the learning unit. So whatever you have for it, in this case, I just simply list the subtopics that will be dealt with, and I'm going to number them properly. You decide how you do it. Once I do that, I think connection is save changes. So that's unit number 1. But that's not the only thing you're going to add to the unit. You have other things that you can add. For example, you can add a file. You can add your lecture notes. You can add an assignment, because you don't need to add the assignments up here. You can add the assignments specific to that learning unit. You can add a quiz. You can add a video, any resource. You add it to that learning unit. Notice something here now. Once you add your learning unit, it's changing the topics to the side here. So you have access to the navigation. You have access from the navigation menu here to go to any learning unit just by the click of the mouse. In my case, I think I may have resource that I can add here. Just for example, I'm going to add a document there. Movement of Destiny. So that's a book that I give them to use. No, this one is normally a later unit. Let's use Light Bearers to the Remnant. I'm going to drag it and drop it right here. And that's a file that's attached to that unit. Are you following, Dr. Mambali?
Yes.
Are you with me, Miss Anderson?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right. I know the others are a little more advanced. So that's one learning unit. So let's work with let's go to the others quickly. Edit section, edit topic, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Oh my, I left off one thing there, but that's fine. Unit 2, I'm gonna change the name and the topics. I could leave it at that's just my I could leave it as it is here, but that's just me. I'm just a neatie. I just can't just have things sitting all over the place. So I'm gonna save. I'm gonna be moving a little faster than usual, but when I'm adding the others. That didn't save. Oh yes, here it is. So I could add file to this unit as well, other things, but I'm gonna add the others first before I add anything else to the units. Okay, custom, and then I add these. Okay. Because these are, let me format numbering and then remove the numbers. This will take a little work because, all right, so maybe this, I'll give me a learning opportunity. So if you notice now, these have numbers that are more than one, multiple levels. So let me see here. Now let me paste it again. Okay, so A and B, what happened if it's A and B, or I can get it formatted is by blocking these two and doing this, indent. Okay, the same thing for this. I can block these two. Before I block it, I remove the
Okay.
and indent. These, that's ABC.
Oh yes.
Okay. Right. So save. I put a big E there, but that's fine. I'm just going. Just trying to add. All right. Let me keep it at 3 for now because of time's sake, and then show you now. Let's say I'm adding an assignment that's relevant to this. By the way, just to be clear, I could add an assignment anywhere. For example, when I'm adding this course requires a research paper, I can add it at the top here for accessibility. But if let's say it's an assignment specific to this unit, I could add it down here. So in this case, I'm going to add the research paper. Do I have any others? I think that's a major assignment for this course. Let me add an assignment. Okay. So do that for me, please. Just click add activity and then click assignment. So that's the next tutorial assignment. I'm going to click on it. This one is will take a little more effort. Right, so in my case, let me just double check to make sure that I have this. Okay, so I'm just going to use the research paper as the one. Okay, so I'm going to do research paper. So I'm going to say research paper. And whatever information about the research paper, I'm going to put it in the description. Well, what I could do is that this is a lot of information. What I could do is to put a brief description. And sometimes for my research paper, I have a different file that explains the assignment. You know, if it's a major assignment, I think I should have a different file. If not, and you could upload the file here. All right, same principle, so I don't have to go through it again. You could just drag and drop it there and have the brief description here. Then we need to pay attention to now are the submission deadlines or availability. So first date, are you there? Let's just check at one body. Have you added the assignment?
Yes.
Okay. So go down to the availability section. Are you gonna say the first date you're gonna set is
Excuse me, just a moment. I did not save the changes
to which one?
to the assignment.
No, you don't need to save the changes as yet. You just need to click. Did you click add activity?
Yes, I clicked add activity.
And you click assignment?
I put assignment, yes.
Okay, so on this page now, have you added the assignment name?
Yes.
All right. And if you have a description for it, any instructions would go in the description section.
Yes.
And remember, you can add anything there. You can add video, you can add file and stuff, as well as you can add a file here.
Okay.
And then go down to this section here, now availability, and set the date when they can start submitting the assignment. So for example, in this case, I'm going to set all the way to November. Let's say November 18. They can start submitting the assignment, but the actual due date is December 1. Okay. You can always set a cutoff date. Let's say you decide, so, okay, you give them grace period after the due date, but you'd have to enable it. If you're setting a cutoff date, you'd have to click enable and set the date. So let's say, for example, you're gonna say, okay, nothing past the 5th of December. And
the challenge I had here is after adding descriptions, I don't know how you got that availability.
Okay, so maybe you need to click on
on restrict access.
No, not restrict access, availability.
Oh, where is it? After top or bottom?
The bottom. Scroll down.
I've reached the end and I can see access restrictions.
All right, so it seems as if you added your incorrect item. So you need to go back to the course page and go to add activity. It seems as if you're on the wrong page, because this one has more than just accessibility.
Yeah, because I had add activity or resource. Then
yes. Then pick assignment.
Then I edited the topic.
No, don't edit the topic. That's the learning unit edit you're doing. No, that's not the one.
Add activity. Okay.
Just add activity under the learning unit.
Okay, then assignment. Okay, good.
Yes.
It's adding. Oh yes.
Assignment name.
Okay. Then description.
Right.
Okay, then after that.
The file, any file you have, you can drag and drop it there.
Okay. All right. Display.
You notice when I click on the file, it will have a file. It will have the last file I uploaded was the course outline. It should have it in the repository. Just so for information's sake. Then go to availability.
Oh yes. Availability. Yes, I see it.
Okay. So the first date you're going to set is the allow submissions from, which is a date that students can start uploading their submissions.
All right. Okay.
In terms of the time, this seems like midnight. So I'll leave it at 00. 00 would be 12 a.m. So you can decide.
Okay.
Okay. Then set the due date.
Yes.
The cutoff date, if you enable it. If you want to set the cutoff date, you'd have to check enable. If you decide to use one.
Okay, so how will they remind me to grade by?
Okay, you can decide it. Moodle will remind you to grade it.
In terms of sending an email, or
I am not sure honestly how they will do it, but more than likely, a notification when you go there or an email. I'm not sure.
okay. So submission type.
Okay, so yeah, so you've done now. All right, so let's submission type now is where you can decide what file types the students are allowed to submit. For example, in my case, for Turnitin sake, I usually restrict the assignments to Word. I usually say to them, only submit Word documents. Do not submit your assignment in PDF.
Okay.
Because when it is submitted in PDF, Turnitin cannot evaluate the document.
All right.
So you can actually restrict the file type that they can use to submit by selecting choose. And if you want to restrict it to Word documents, well, every file type are listed, so you can decide which ones you choose. So that's where that option is there. It's not, if it's not a matter, if it doesn't matter to you, then you just leave it open. So in this case, document files, and then you could select both Word document file, and that's it. You can select RTF because if a student doesn't have Office, a text RTF, most other word processing software can produce RTF document, which is the same. It can be open in Microsoft Word or even open document text, but I always keep it at that. And then I will click Save Changes.
Now, what I have here, I'm not used to what I have. I can see here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little confusing, but as I said, just click on document files. Just find document files right after the audio files used on web. That's if you want to restrict it. Again, as I said, it does have option that you can choose, because sometimes the student may have to upload a PowerPoint file or a PDF, whatever it is, depending on the type of the assignment. And you could select the number of uploaded files. Sometimes an assignment may require multiple files. You can decide that.
Now, Take me back. Take me back.
Scroll down and click save or cancel. Scroll down. Scroll all the way to the bottom.
Save and return to course. Save and display.
No. Where are you now?
I am still at on the page where I decided the date of
The assignment.
Oh, yes, yes.
Fine. So let's continue then. Let's continue. So in terms of other relevant option, because I'm not going to go through all of them. Let me see, feedback types. You can leave that. That's just basically default to comments, submission.
I still have a challenge with submission types.
You can leave it blank. If you didn't change anything, you can leave it. It by default, it will accept whatever file type the student upload. But if you need to restrict it, that's all I'm saying. You can easily tell the students what files to submit.
Okay. All right. Okay, go on.
All right. So let me see. These are stuff that are additives. You can force a student to click a button, and the reason for that is maybe you want to make sure that the student upload the file, because sometimes a student may click on a file and think they upload it and it didn't upload, and then you have a quarrel between the students say they uploaded and you're not, they didn't mark and so on. So, but you can explore those options. Not very necessary right now. You have group submissions, where if it's a group work, you can because normally in a group work the student may submit similar work and that may affect Turnitin. You can decide to say yes, require a group to make submission or all members and stuff like that. Those are additives. But where I want to get to is your Turnitin. You want to enable Turnitin for most assignments, especially those that are of essay. You enable, and the other options that are there that I want to focus on are display similarity reports to students. I usually keep it at no. You don't necessarily want the student to see the report before you see it, because this has helped me, I can tell you, not a lot in terms of students who submit the same assignment, even for another class. It has helped me to detect those situations. So it's a good tool to use. So you want to leave the others as by default, unless you decide to explore them. The other stuff are not necessary for our tutorial. Unless you just want to enable it, and most of the other default stuff are there. Grading is the other important matter, and I think that's the final one I look at under assignment. Now, let's be clear that there's a central area where you will set up your grading system. And this is one of the advantages of Moodle. If you notice in Aaron, for example, in the past, for you to properly calculate the student's grade, you would have to have a separate Excel sheet where you enter the actual grades and then do the calculations. But Moodle, if you handle it right, can manage your grading, can keep progress based upon, it can manage your grading based upon the percentages and the point structure of your course. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Dr. Mambali? You want me to repeat?
Thank you, Pastor.
Grading.
All right, let me repeat myself.
No. Which section are you on?
All right, I'm on the assignment But before I adjust the grading setting, I am trying to explain something here so you can understand what I'm about to do.
No. Give me the map where you are, because
All right.
now.
So after you pass, turn it in. Then the next thing is grade. So you have to click on it. So it doesn't open automatically. You have to click on it. Dr. Smith, we are recording this session so you can see it afterwards.
I have enabled turn it in. That's what you are
Thank you,
talking
Pastor.
about.
Right. So you can close that and go to the other section, which is grade.
So how?
But you click on the arrow beside it, the little triangle, the little triangle beside it.
You know, I am seeing your the group submission, then the notification.
No, close that. Close, turn it in.
So if you
I
click back the little triangle beside it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Go down back. Or if you're seeing group submission, notifications, turn it in, then grade. So I'm going down.
Oh yes, great. Yes, sir.
So you open it.
Okay.
Right. So before I modify anything, I was trying to explain something here. That Moodle can manage your grading for you, which is something very helpful, because in the past, I had to create a whole Excel file to calculate grades based upon the percentages, based upon and stuff like that. But Moodle can manage that for you and even help the student to see their grading before the semester ends. So if that is done well, it can be really, really helpful. So in this case, for example, in this assignment, I'm going to set the settings, but I'm going to explain something. So right now, I'm going to keep it at points. So for this assignment, the maximum points is 100 because it's a research paper. So usually you're going to have the maximum points. But maybe let's say it's a smaller assignment and you have marked it out of 30 or 40 or 50. That's what you put here.
Okay.
Then the grading method, you can keep it at simple direct grading because you don't want, if you get into rubric and stuff, you're gonna have to enter other settings, which I don't want to. I want to keep it within this framework of this tutorial based on time. Grading category now is where in the grading section you can create categories. For example, most times, let's use sectionals. Most times you may have, let's say, 3 sectionals for the semester. But in your grading scale, sectionals is, let's say, 30%. So what you can do is to add a category called sectionals and then add grade items 1, 2, 3 under that. And Moodle will automatically scale the grades to that 30%. Are you following? Dr. Michael?
Yes, I'm there.
That's what the category
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
But right now, I did not set a category, so I have to keep it at that. But you can actually make the adjustment in the grading section.
So question here.
Yes.
If you have it as uncategorized, it means that if you go in your grade book, you are not able to add it there, add the item there.
No, you can still modify it there.
Okay.
But uncategorized would mean that it is by itself. So this item, a research paper usually take up a percentage by itself. Let's say 15% of the entire grade. So it's fine to be uncategorized. But if you're adding a sectional, or maybe if you have a category for multiple assignments, so let's say you want to amalgamate all the assignments to be 20% of the total grade, then you would want to have a category called assignments. And then each individual assignment comes under that category.
So for example, suppose you have like 10 journals for the semester. So you'll have a category called journals.
Journals, right? Because I guess your journals would take up a percentage of the overall grade.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the point. Grade identified. No, keep the other stuff default. You can explore those. When you're exploring, you just click on the question mark and it will explain what it is for. I'm gonna keep the other stuff default. The other stuff, I'm gonna keep at default again. The activity completion says students can.
My internet threw me out, right?
Yeah. All right. So if your internet threw you out, you would have covered all of what needs to be covered. I'm gonna click save and return to course. In your case, I think it would have saved up. So when you go to your course section, you probably will see the assignment under the unit.
Okay.
So
Now you are still explaining uncategorized. So you mean to say then I can go down and save and display?
But no, save and return. Save and return. The other one. Save and return to
Okay.
page. Yes.
Okay.
So right now, if you notice now, I have under this learning unit, I have a document and I have an assignment. You will see how it looks when I'm done editing the page. Let me just check here. What else? Blackboard, file assignment, quiz, attendance, grade book. You participants this. Okay. So grade book is my next and final activity. As I say, quiz can't be done today. It's kind of massive and it's very helpful. Just to say about quiz, one of the powerful thing about quiz is that you can set up a safe browser setting, which revolutionizes. So it will prevent the student from browsing the internet while doing this exam. That's a powerful tool. So I want to do that separate so we can explore all of it because it's kind of technical. So let's go to the grade book. Before I go to the grade book, let's say look at this navigation section here now. Based on what we have done so far, this section here, okay, what you'll find over here now, if you notice, the units it's breaking down your units for you, giving you correct labels. And if you had other courses converted to Moodle, they would also show up here. And participants, the list of students, because that's a very important piece of information that you need at times. If you want to see the list of students in the class, just click on the participants and allow it to run. And notice I'm the only one here. I guess that's why I wasn't seeing any names inside of the attendance register. But there's some powerful information that you can find here. For example, you can see the last time that the students access the course. So if you have a student and they have never accessed the information page on the course, then that's a student you want to contact and find out what's happening because they have never gone on the page. You want to find out if something is wrong. If they are part of a group, you can actually create groups if you have group assignments, and it will show up there. So that's one thing that's helpful there. Any questions? Any comments? I'm gonna move to the grade book now. Before I move there, I just want to hear if there are any questions.
Yes, Pastor.
Yeah.
The issue of uncategorized. When you click the button for uncategorized, I didn't see any other option. So I was
very, very good question, and that's why I didn't address it here, because you can't modify it there.
Okay.
You're gonna be able to modify it in the grade book, and that's where I'm heading to now.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Yes, good question. All right, so on the administration now, you have grade book. All right. You can click on it, and that's where you're gonna see all of your possible graded items. Now look, if you notice, Blackboard is showing up there. That's why I warned you last time to make sure you remove the points, because if you notice, even though it's there, it doesn't have any weight because you removed the points. I think you can hide it. Yes, I would hide it. You can click on the edit here and hide it so that the students don't see it in their gradebook. All right.
Excuse me.
Yes, Doc.
Excuse me. I'm stuck in the participants. How do I get out of
All right, sorry.
participants?
Pardon me, Doc. I am. Yeah, forgive me, Doc. I forgot to move at your pace. All right, so go back to the navigation menu up top here and click on the course information, and you're gonna go back to the information page, and then you're gonna click on to the let me go back for your sake. Let me go back so I can give you one step at a time. So are you back on the information page now?
No, I'm still in the participants.
So go up to the navigation up top here and click on the course name or the course number.
Okay.
Yes, and once you do that, it's going to take you back to the page here.
Right. I'm there now.
Right. So scroll down and you want to access this section here.
Yes.
Administration, right? You're going to click on gradebook. Look, find gradebook setup.
Okay.
Right. And as I said, you're going to probably see two items there. You're going to say Blackboard and research paper. If you did whatever assignment you had named at the time, you can hide Blackboard because you don't want the students to think that it's a graded work. Just click on the edit button beside it and click hide.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start setting up my gradebook now. Even though I think let me start setting up my gradebook now by adding items and categories. So let's work with this course that I have here. So I have discussion questions, which might be more than one, exams and research paper. So I'm going to do discussion questions. So if I have more than one, that means that it's a broad picture. Let me look at the grading scheme. Okay, so discussion question is 10%, sectional is 25, term paper 25, final exam. All right, so I'm going to add a category called discussion questions. In your case, if you have a category, so I'm going to say discussion question. That's one category. I'm going to leave the settings that are here because they can be adjusted in the list. I prefer to adjust them there because what you're going to find is that Moodle is going to constantly modify your grade to make it 100%. They are not going to adjust to. They're not going to keep any weight less than 100%. So it's best you add all the items first and then you modify the weights. Okay. So I'm going to add a grade item now. Oh my, I'm going too fast. So did you add a category, Dr. Wambali?
I'm at category, yes. So,
okay, let's give it a name. Let's give it a name and save it.
Okay.
Give it a name, whatever you're naming it as. Remember that it's a category that you're going to have multiple assignments under that category.
All right.
And click save. Have you saved it?
Save changes.
Yes.
At the bottom. Okay.
Yeah. Right, you should bring it back to the speed.
Yes.
You're gonna add grade item now. You're gonna add grade item.
Okay.
And then in my case, I want to add the grades for that category. So I'm going to add discussion question 1. And the value, the grade type, I'm going to keep it at value. The maximum grade for that, usually I keep it at, my discussion questions are usually marked out of 30. And again, I'm going to keep the weight. I'm not going to adjust the weight here because the weight can be adjusted in the list. I'll show you in a little while. I'm going to keep it as is and click save changes. So in your case, you just need to set the what is being marked out of. All right, that's all. Because again, if you notice something here, Moodle starts adjusting the weights. But I'm going to ignore it until I'm done with all my grades because that's not the weight I want for each of these items. I'm going to add I did something wrong there because the discussion question 1 should have a category, parent category. Let me see. Yeah, I should be able to change this. It's not grade category. It's not allowing me to change. Let me see if I can adjust it in the list. No. Edit. I should have been able to or maybe it's where I added it from. Let me see. Info, grade types, value, parent category. All right, still not giving me that. I think it's where I think it has to do with where I added it from. I'm gonna delete it. You know what's happening here is that maybe it's when I'm adding the assignment. So let's say when I go to the Moodle, back to the course page, and add the assignment itself with all the details like the research paper, that's where I select the category. All right. So I'm not going to go through that. What I'm going to show you is how to adjust the weights.
Okay. Excuse me. Before you come to the weights,
Yes.
I still have some items before that. I don't know what you said about it. Grade type and scale and maximum grade and minimum grade. Before we came
So
to
maximum grade.
parent.
So the only thing, yeah, right. The only thing you're going to set there is maximum grade. But
Okay.
I canceled all of that, Doc. Sorry, my bad. I canceled all of that. In adding the graded item, I'm going to ask you to do it a different way. I'm going to ask you to add it through the activities just as you did the research paper, or just as I did the research paper. And then it is when you're adding it as an assignment that you set the category to the discussion question, for example, whichever category you added. I hope I'm not confusing you. Dr. Michael, are you following me?
I'm trying.
You're trying. I was hoping you would save me, man. All right, all right, we have time. I was scheduled to end at about between 12:30 and 1. I'm gonna do it I'm gonna go through the correct way. All right. So I'm gonna go back, Dr. Wambali, to you can save changes. And I'm gonna go back to the course information page. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep the category, because I really needed you to understand the category. So I have to do that. So let's say for each unit, I'm gonna add 2 discussion questions. So I'm gonna add 1 to unit 2 and 1 to unit 3. So are you back on the course page, Dr. Wambali? Hope I didn't lose you. Dr. Wambali, you're muted.
All right. Oh, yes, I am there where we added. Oh, yes, I'm on
Okay.
your page
All
now.
right. So let me try and explain again before I do anything else. All right. So we could have ignored this. All right. Let me just upfront say this. You can actually ignore this, what I'm doing, and run the course, but you would have to manually calculate your grades and your percentages, which we have always been doing in the ARN system. So it would not be anything new to you. All right. But I feel that this feature is very helpful, not only for you, but for the student. Because a lot of times when I'm working in the ARN, I have to wait until the last assignment is submitted before the final exam. I calculate the grade and show them their term grade. Are you following me?
Yes.
Am I correct, Dr. Michael?
Yes, Pastor.
Right. So this, if your gradebook thing can help to eliminate that, where once you put the correct weights and stuff, and the assignments are submitted and graded, it will automatically be doing your grade. And I have this experience with the school, with the classes I'm doing right now, Odeka, that I can see my grade before the semester ends. I can know where I'm at. I can know the percentage when I get that grade of overall grade and stuff. So this is why gradebook setup is important.
Sir.
But yes.
So I in my grade book I set a category called journals. So when I go back on journal 1, go on edit and touch the categories, grade category, then I'm selecting journals, so it will automatically now go underneath the journal folder.
Underneath the journal, right?
So I'm gonna.
So I added one called discussion questions, and I'm gonna now add an assignment. I'm gonna add 2 assignments: discussion 1, discussion 2, and I'm gonna put them under the category of discussions. So let me go to adding the first one. I'm gonna add an assignment called discussion 1. Okay, assignment. Okay, so I'm going to call this discussion 1. Description is there, file. I'm just going to set some random dates. I want to keep it at default dates and come all the way down to grading. Okay. And I'm going to say this is marked out of 30 usually. And the category now, notice, is discussion questions. All right. I'm going to leave everything else as default. Yeah. Right. Save and display. Well, save and return to course. For me to add the second discussion question. I did it this different way last night, but anyhow, let me just add in the other one. Because when I was adding the sectionals, I never had to add a quiz before I could add the sectional. But let me still go through. I'm adding the second assignment under the other learning unit. So this is discussion 2, and I could give instructions, add a file, have a date, and then I go to grade and say discussion questions. Oh, I need to change this to 30. And I click save and display. So I should save and return. All right, so I have the 2 assignments. So let me go back to gradebook now. I'm gonna go to gradebook. All right, so notice now that I have the 2 discussion questions underneath discussion questions. So the weight of this, when I go back to my thing, is 10%. But I'm not gonna set the weight yet because I don't have all my items here. But if you notice, Google Moodle automatically is dividing the grades between these 2. But I'm not gonna modify them as yet because I want to add my sectionals. So let me add a category again.
Just a minute there, Pastor.
Yes.
So there's a section on the category box where you tick in order to put in a value. That's where you would put your percentage.
Yes, but I don't want to modify it yet because it's gonna
Okay.
be out of work. It's gonna be out of work until I
Till all the other items are in.
yes.
Okay.
Weighted adjustment. I could set it here, but because the other it's gonna affect the other items until I set it. So I'm gonna keep it category total. I'm just gonna keep it default because everything can be set inside the table. So it's sectionals. And I'm gonna add after this, I'm gonna add final exam. So I'm gonna add no, I need to add grade item. No, I'm getting my category. Okay, so I'm gonna add sectional 1 and put that value. My sectionals are usually marked out of 50, and the category is sectionals. Oh my, it go back to edit. Something went haywire there. So I'm gonna select. No, something went wrong there. If you notice something went wrong there, I need to. I'm gonna delete. After delete it and start again because something went wrong. I was able to set this category.
Yeah, I think you need to add category instead of the grading section. Add category would mean that you are now putting another big idea inside the grade book.
No, I'm trying to add a sectional. So it should allow me sectional.
Oh, you mean underneath? Okay.
1. Yes. See there, grade category is sectionals. Right. I should be able to do that. See? I'm gonna add another one just for the sake of this tutorial. Sectional 2. And the category is sectionals. And I'm gonna save changes. One final one is final exam. It's a grade item. Okay, and it doesn't have any parent. It's by itself. So save changes, and then now once I do this, I can go through and make the adjustments. So for right now, I'm gonna check all these boxes so I can make the modifications. So research paper, when I go back to my grading scale, is 25%. So I'm gonna put it to 25. Discussion questions is 10. Sectional is 25, and final exam is 40. I'm going to save changes. and notice that it's gonna have the correct weight now. All right. The total points is 440, but that is ignored because usually you will have that. That's not where it does the actual. If you notice, the points, for example, for this question is 30, but the weight, it has a 50-50 weight for the 10%. Are you understand? Following now, Dr. Michael?
I am watching.
What? All right, no problem, no problem. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
You know, it has reached a level where I am also watching.
That's fine. I no problem. What I would encourage you to do, because this can be done after the fact. This can be adjusted. So don't think that you can go ahead with Moodle if you don't have this, because it can be adjusted anywhere along the way. So don't restrict your activity to say, if I don't get this right, I can't move ahead. No, because it can be modified as you create your assignments. Again, you don't even have to worry about the category when you're creating it either, because that can be done later. I can come back maybe later on and maybe do a one-on-one if you're interested in getting this done. Otherwise, you have to do your manual grade calculations as you normally do, because Area never used to help you with this anyhow. So it's obviously a new thing for most of you. All right, so let me check my agenda to make sure I'm not leaving anything off. Oh yes, there one more thing I wanted to show you, not to demonstrate, but to just to point out some features. So I'm done with my activities because I'm not going to touch quiz today, but I'm going to point out some features that are available. So first, I'm going to turn off editing. Okay, and once I turn off editing, it will start showing you exactly how it's supposed to look on a normal basis. So this is how your page is going to look. If you notice, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So when you click 2, 3, 4, you go to the different learning units, which you would have added, or you could have added more. So what they did basically was to paginate your learning units so you can easily navigate through them. Okay, once your editing is off, and remember, this is it caught me, so don't feel bad if it catch you. You cannot add anything to the page unless you turn on editing. That's very important, because I found myself dragging and dropping a file and was wondering what was happening. But if editing is not on, it won't accept anything. All right. Another feature is that I could look at my page based on how a student will view it. So I can go up here where my name is and click switch role to student. So I can see the thing, how the student will see it.
So, Pastor, whenever I am showing the students what to do, where to find what, and so that is what I do.
Okay.
For student view, so that they'll be able to see exactly how it look in their own system.
Very good. Very good. Right now, the only difference I'm seeing is with the navigation section over here. They do not have any administrative menu, and also their progress. All right. Usually, if it goes the way I'm thinking, I've never checked it out before. Usually, it probably can. I'm not sure if it's a grade or activities progress it shows. For example, I think. Let me see. I think you should be able to check, let's say, the assignment, that you did the assignment and stuff like that. I'm not sure that, but anyhow, that's for the student to figure out. Let me go back to the regular view to see if there are any other feature that I need to point out. The question bank thing is another good feature with Moodle, where you're gonna have your question bank to drop in your quizzes, to reuse and stuff like that. When we get to the quiz or sectional or exam section, I'm not seeing anything else that, let me see, course completion. You can back up your the course. I think that's how in Aaron, you could have, when next semester comes, you could have easily select from an existing course, a past course, and import all the settings. In Moodle, you would have to manually back up the course and then restore it into a new course. I guess that's where Pastor Walker, we're trying to move
the class sessions in Blackboard.
Right. And I can beat myself because I have had to move content from one course to the next recently, and I did not remember that this feature was there, where I could have exported, back up first, and then restore. So it would actually be a file. When you back it up, it will be a file that you download on a computer somewhere and then import it into a new course. So you don't have to be repeating yourself over and over again. But that is what I had on my agenda. Yeah. Page, creating, adding a page. It is part. Let's say for some. Well, maybe the only other thing I would do is to explore the other activity types in terms of the possibilities. But you, for example, can do that, because let me just point out some of the activity that I am interested in and will be using, so that you probably can explore it on your own. So, for example, I am interested in forum, because I do discussion activity where the students can comment on each other's posts. I do that. So you could create a forum and ask a question, pose a question, allow them to respond to you, and allow them to respond to each other. That's a kind of a social media setup that's very good. You could conduct a survey. You could, let me see what else would be meaningful. You could add a page.
Even the URL link, suppose you find a video that explains, for example, students might be struggling with writing some of their Hebrew letters.
Right.
You might find a short video, a 5-minute video that kind of will help them along the way. You can put that in, and they will go and watch that and perfect the letters that they need to work on, things like those,
Very good.
Writing and so forth.
That is true, and I think the URL allow you to embed a YouTube video. I have embedded a YouTube video before, but I don't remember if it's the URL I use.
No, I don't think it would be the URL.
I think it's a page. I think it's a page I did with the text box. The box, but anyhow, I don't want to confuse folks. That's it. Other stuff is there for you to explore, but don't crash it.
Question.
Yeah.
I saw on the top of your agenda, download Blackboard recordings.
Yes, because that's if you wanted to, but most of you are doing trial, so I could show you if you want me to.
So my thinking is when we all go to Moodle, because that's the plan, right? Next semester we should all be on Moodle, right?
Yes.
So I think that's important because the class recordings, help the students and stuff. So I personally am interested in knowing if
How
the
to do that?
students are going to have access to the recordings on the Moodle, or there's something we need to do to make them be able to access it.
Okay, good question. So yes, as it is now, the only reason I thought about showing you how to do that is because if you were going to move now, you probably would have had a couple sessions already, which as I said, I'm not sure. I've not contacted unit, so I'm not sure if it can be saved. Otherwise, from downloading it. So if you're gonna move today, you probably want to download the recordings just for backup sake that you had already from maybe 3 or 4 sessions in already. Download those. But if it's next semester, you would need that because you're gonna be starting afresh in this semester. So you would need that. And as it is now, the students can access the recordings in Blackboard on Moodle. Because the truth is, because Blackboard is a separate application. It's just so versatile to be able to embed in any platform.
Pastor, so I have 2 classes that are on the same time. So what I have done is to open Blackboard in one class, and then I share the link with the other classes. And then the recordings in the class that I open Blackboard, I copy the link and paste it as a URL inside the other class, so they can view the recordings. So you can actually copy the link, and then you have it if you personally need
Or
to.
the link of the recording.
Yes, you can copy the recording itself, the link of the recording. So I have copied the link of the recording, for example, in Hebrew 2:21, and put it in Hebrew 4:21 so that they can go back and watch the class, because I just opened Blackboard in one of them.
Well, that's a solution that Dr. Smith needs help with because he had asked me the question.
Yes.
And I was thinking about a solution, but I did not come up with it as it. So maybe you can share that with him.
He has two of the same classes.
Yes, yeah, that's a similar situation. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and my solution, what I was going to suggest was that to have somebody to own both classes and have somebody show their screen in, but that probably would be difficult because it would mean that somebody can't ask any questions.
So you would open Blackboard in one class.
Yes.
And then you would copy the course room link and you would paste that in the next class. So each time they want to have the class, they just go on their class, click the link, and they are in your class.
They're in your class.
And then when the recording is done, you copy the recording link and put it back in their class so they can go back and look on the recording as well.
Right. But I was thinking of doing it a different way. But I think your solution is good because it means that you have all the students in one session where they can ask questions.
That's right.
And interact. So that's fine. I think that solution is perfect. All right.
So you've answered my question that Moodle can save the recordings of Blackboard.
Yes, it will.
All right. That's my concern. Thank you.
It will save the recordings.
But Damien, you have to press recording when you start your your Blackboard session.
Yes, you have to record. You have to record.
Once you press recording, then whatever happens in the class, it records it, and a few minutes after class, it's available. Yes.
Yes, but Dr. Michael is used to Blackboard. Dr. Michael just needs to know that nothing has changed about Blackboard, Dr. Michael. It's the same Blackboard.
Right. That's right.
Same Blackboard.
That's the comfort zone.
Yes. Same Blackboard. Everything the same.
All right. Good to know.
Yes, another feature I'm seeing is where you can create blogs, but there are so many stuff to explore, but you on your own time can explore it. If you have a blog that you give information to your students now and then, but I'm not sure those things are relevant to you. You also have a calendar in terms of the dates. It spread out the dates. For example, if you notice right now, it's showing you the activities and the dates that are due. If you go to the next month, you should have activities there as well. So from the calendar, you can have a visual picture. I normally create a course calendar, so this is useful. I maybe don't need to do this anymore because they can access this calendar to look at due dates and in a visual format. All right. Any questions? Dr. Wambali, are you still watching?
Yes, I am. I am.
Damian,
Yes.
just a question here. I post something called discussion question. I think I used what you call it now?
Forum?
No, I didn't use forum. I used something else, but I'm not seeing a grade for it. I'm not seeing the category grade.
Okay.
That thing that you have announcement on right there, that's the one that I use.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. Unless, and let me check the settings and see if they allow a grading for that. No, I'm not seeing a grading for it. So maybe I do have two things. Either you, if they haven't started as yet, because this seems like just announcements,
Oh,
just general announcements.
This
So
is
that
whole forum grading. Oh, type none. Okay.
it allows it.
So yes, it does.
Okay.
Where it have whole forum grading? I was just looking for grade alone like the others.
Oh, okay. Does it appear in your grade book?
I'll have to go back and check. I think maybe if I, oh yes, and it is saying grade category, grade method, grade to pass. So that means it.
Yes, it can be graded.
Oh,
Yes,
so it will appear now in the things. Now that I have
yes. Once you turn it on.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Any other question?
No, I'm clear.
Clear, Miss Anderson, you're still with us.
Yeah, I was bumped off, but I know I'll be able to watch it again.
Yes, I'll send the record. As soon as it's done, it's gonna process it, and within a few hours, I'll be able to send it to you. All right. If there are no other questions,
It seems quite clear. You did a good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's
not hard to manipulate.
Right. It's just that
Right.
it gives you more control, so it's kind of more work.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
But once you get the basic stuff in, then you can take time to explore the others as time go by.
Right.
Don't bite off a big chunk. Just do the basics first, and then if you're in practice mode, it will still be up to you to make sure you get the practice. That's part of the reason I wasn't in support of the practice, because practice will still you will still have to be disciplined enough to go there regularly.
Yeah.
But I felt that if you take the dive, you might be drowning, but you won't drown.
Yeah.
But you will learn faster.
Right.
It reminds me of when I went to Dr. Wambali, when I was in Honduras, and I was married as yet, and I asked the pastor, what's the fastest way to learn Spanish? You know what he told me? He says, marry a Spaniard.
Yeah.
Thou art disobedient.
It was an option, Pastor. It was an option.
Pastor A, you would have to learn Spanish.
The Lord is gracious. I've been to so many of these countries, and I've had the privilege of speaking it. I spoke in Panama, So the Lord is be praised.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I try to learn what I can without having to marry a Spaniard.
The Lord, you have married the love of your life.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So if you if you dive, as I said, you become an expert very, much faster. But if you want to practice, you have to still be disciplined to make sure you practice regularly.
And as you mentioned, it's not very difficult to know. If you look at my last son right now, he speaks more Spanish than English.
The easiest way, the idea is that immersion is the easiest way, because some of what I learned is because I spent some time with a family, and I had to be, I had to have my dictionary near me and stuff and make sure that I can speak with them. I remember one time I went somewhere, and when I came back, I was saying Buenos noche, even when it was day. And a lady said, "Listen, why are you saying Buenos noche?" Because it's not night.
Yeah. But we have simple app though. We have Babel, we have Spanish English translator. So you can download the same to your phone that you need.
Yeah.
Duolingo does a good
All right. Yes. Duolingo. Thank you, folks. Let me do a quick survey now again. So Dr. Michael, you're gonna be practicing until next semester, right?
Yes.
I just want to make a comment here and perhaps propose something. Yes, those of us who have passed through this training and have the option of making practice, I think, as you're saying, it's a question of the discipline and of doing that, and also having the recording on your side as you are doing practice. I think that will help us.
Right.
Yes. So what I note is that my register, I have 8 participants, including the facilitator.
Yes.
That is Dr. Lipe, Miss Lawson, Pastor Hay, Pastor Wilson, Pastor Walker, Dr. Wright, myself, and the facilitator. In this semester, those who might continue with us next semester and therefore forced to jump onto Moodle, Dr. Smith and Pastor Bignell, Dr. Cameron and Pastor Fletcher, who are not with us here. And remember, Pastor Chambers, those of us who were in the other training, the general training that was arranged by the Office of the Academic Administration, we were required to transition to Moodle at the end of next month. No, at the end of this month. And we objected to that until it was accepted that we use Moodle next semester. So which means those of you who are here with me, with Pastor Chambers, we need to ask ourselves how we take care of these brothers who are not with us. Because Ryan is going to be closed. So what is your view?
What we can do, Dr. Bombole, we can have ongoing training sessions, because I know that the academic admin had made a decision to transition fully to Moodle in the spring semester. So we can have ongoing training sessions for those individuals who were unable to join us today. and we can perhaps still work with the system that we had started in terms of team tutorials where you pair a strong person with someone who is not so versed on using the platform. And once we are able to do that, then we can always help each other to grow, because iron definitely sharpens iron.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Yes. In addition to that, I think your suggestion is good, that we may arrange for another training session if it is in agreement with the rest of us. Of course, that training session would be specifically for those who are not with us today, and we may have to write to them to seek their opinion on that. And those of us who may want to join that other training session, I think that would be a good thing. That is, if the trainers are willing to sacrifice another time of theirs to be with us in an event like this one. Pastor Chambers, what do you say?
You mean another session for those who are not here?
Yes.
To go over the same thing?
I was sorry to
Yes.
cut you, Pastor.
Can they be sent the training that is recorded?
Now, to be honest with you, I feel that this thing was announced and the recording is here.
Yeah.
That they watch the recording, and as Pastor Wilson says, I am always available. Pastor Walker is available. Nicardo will catch on fast. If there is any need for individual, if you have something that fine. But to set up another training session to go over the same thing, to me would be a waste of time based on the technology that we have available. The recording is there, and we have other things to cover, because the quiz section is an important one that needs to be covered next.
We're waiting for that one.
So which means we may have to ask them to go through the recording before the quiz training comes on.
Right.
And I just want to mention this to us all, and Sister Lawson is there. It is very disheartening